Joining me right now is Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to see you. Sure. Thank you.
What do you think about the agenda? How confident are you that you and your colleagues can get tax reform and the health care over the finish line this year?
I agree that you're going to see the Senate take a vote before July 4th. And people are thrilled with that. They want to be free and independent of the Affordable Care Act. So I think it's very timely. I think a final bill, a final version will be on the president's desk before August 1st. And that's a goal. We should be hitting that goal, and then it is getting the push together to get tax reform over the finish line.
There was a report yesterday that lawmakers said that they are considering not going on the August recess in order to get the work done if, in fact, it doesn't get done by then. Are you for that? Was that an actual conversation piece in Congress?
Yeah, Maria, there are plenty of conversations about do we stay in during August. Many individuals want to get out there. I agree. Get out there, do our meetings and Rotary clubs and civic clubs and chamber coffees, visit with our constituents, and we appreciate having that time. But there's also the argument to be made that we have a heavy lift. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually take care of deregulating, lowering taxes, getting some of this environment for jobs growth to take place in place. Your interview with Secretary Ross spoke specifically to that. How do we utilize new technologies? How do we make the environment right for private sector jobs growth to take place? And that is less litigation, less taxation,
right.
And to get that job creation.
Congresswoman James Freeman with the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, James.
I have a tax question for you, but real quick, I noticed the White House announcing last night that Michael Platt Jr. is headed to the Commerce Department. You seem to be losing one of the blue chip staffers on Capitol Hill.
And we are pleased with it for him and look forward to all good things for him.
Yeah. Now, as far as the tax cut, tell us about the conversation around how big this cut can be, because there is some sentiment on the Hill that you have to stick to CBO rules, a 10-year budget window, all of that boring Beltway stuff. But what it means is it limits how much you can cut taxes. Some people are saying let's make it a 30-year window. That means we can have a big, big tax cut. Where do you stand on that?
I think what you're going to see Chairman Brady do is get as much as he can. I like the way this administration works things out and says, let's do more with less. So if you put that into how you work tax reductions into a reconciliation bill, what you're going to see the Speaker and the Chairman do is to move forward with how much they can lower those marginal rates. They're looking right now at 35, 25, and 10. Those are worthy goals. Then going to the business side, how low can you get that corporate rate? Can you deal with repatriation on that? I think that the VAT tax is going to be very, very difficult in my district with auto manufacturing, with large retailers like Dollar General and Tractor Supply. Kirkland's headquartered here. That is not a popular tax, and I know the Speaker's for it, but I don't see the support from my constituents or from my colleagues for that tax.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So maybe just cut the rate down to 15%, as the President has suggested.
I think that is something that is workable. And James, you know, if we do that, we're still going to be the biggest tax cut since the Reagan '86 tax cut. And let's take as much as we can get this year, and then let's come back next year and take some more. Taxes are too high, regulation is too high, litigation is too prolific. So let's get those under control so that jobs growth can take place. I talk to small business manufacturers that work in the just-in-time supply chain for the auto industry, every single week, and they will tell you, they will point to you specifically how the VAT tax would adversely impact them and thereby the price of an auto.
Yeah, and the price of an auto, I heard, would go up $2,000, $3,000 even, if you have that border adjustment tax, the BAT, as you refer to it. So what I hear you saying, Congressman, and I want to move on to the Georgia election in a second, but you would be willing then to vote on no new revenue then. You just cut taxes and then deal with if you need to raise revenue next year or the next year. You would be willing to vote with just lowering the corporate rate as low as you can get it without raising revenue from something at the border, a tax at the border.
Yes, I think you lower those rates and see where that gets you.
Right.
You don't have to do everything with one stroke of the pen.